My theory remains the same as when I related it to you yesterday. Mr. Casaretto did not see Mr. Knight's body when he passed through the tunnel. As such, the body could only have been dropped from the well during the show. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint.
And that's still your assertion? And you can prove it, of course?
Of course you can! Who do you think you're up against? What you just mean to say is we received the final autopsy report ahead of our arrival.
She really is a very busy woman. Busy looking after baby Winner.
The victim appears to have died the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the night before the show. The cause of death is as stated. The wound is 4 inches deep. Simone Saint was off stage for a period of 15 minutes. Plenty of time for him to throw the victim's body down the well.
Judge Cavell hasn't investigated the yard yet, which means... I fear there may be something of a flaw with your theory, Your Honour.
You seem very confident in that. Do you have any evidence to prove it?
Yes, I think I just might.
Hold it!
That theory being Mr. Saint is the killer. You certainly cling to it rather stubbornly.
You're certainly clinging rather stubbornly to the idea Mr. Saint isn't the killer. Do you have any conclusive evidence that he wasn't? Any idea who the real killer might be?
I'd like to see what evidence you yourself have first.
I'm an emissary of the God of Justice. My words are her words. But her words are wasted on you, I see. Would you challenge me if I were to say the sky was blue?
Is this a court or a cult?
If you truly mean to refute the word of the divine, then come, show me your evidence. Hold it!
Isn't it possible Mr. Casaretto simply failed to notice the body?
Assistant to the Associate Attorney, have you been through the secret You've been through the secret passage, have you not? How do you know? I noticed mud on you yesterday. On the charming key in your hair, to be precise. That's incredible. You could be a great thief with your eyes like that. Answer me truthfully. In the name of the goddess, would you or would you not have noticed the body had been one present? Well, you know, I guess I would have. There you have it. Mr. Casaretto did not see the body, which means there was nobody there to see. Hold it!
Can you talk us through your reasoning on that a little more?
The day before the performance, Mr. Knight borrowed the keys from Mr. Casaretto.
More specifically, the key to his cell.
Mr. Knight then used the key to leave his cell and enter Mr. Saint's cage. Mr. Saint took Mr. Knight to the yard in that cage, and that's where he killed him. The following day, Mr. Casaretto crawled his way through the tunnel, but there was nobody there yet. Wait a second, that doesn't add up. Mr. Casaretto smelled the sweet smell, so Mr. Knight must have been in the tunnel already. No, his body did not pass through the tunnel until some time after Mr. Casaretto had crawled through. Mr. Casaretto used the tunnel right around the time the show was starting. The body was discovered just after the performance ended.
From which you deduced the body could only have been thrown down the well during the show.
Yes, and who the culprit must be. We both know the only one who could have dropped the body down there during the show is Mr. Saint. Hold it!
Are you sure about that? Could nobody else have done it?
I understand Miss Berry was on stage for the entire performance. Most of the prisoners were watching the show, and those who were not have plausible alibis.
What about the guards?
They too were watching the show, as were the warden.
How can you be so sure? A guard could have easily approached the well unnoticed.
None of the guards left their post during the show. I've checked this for myself, you know. I took statements from every single one of them.
She's thorough, I'll give her that.
Are you finally ready to accept the truth? The killer could only have been Simone Saint?
Judge Cavell hasn't carried out a full investigation of the yard yet.
Which means we've got the advantage for a change.
I should review the evidence we gathered during our investigation of the yard. Can you provide your testimony at all, Judge Cavell?
No. Why? Do you believe there's something wrong with it?
Well, no, nothing seems out of place.
Perhaps you could refrain from insinuating otherwise?
Well, that blew up in my face.
My judgment of this evidence appears to have no connection to my testimony.
I'm not sure what to do with this one. Let me go back and press everything again.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
Were they tampered with the night before the body was found?
Objection!
No.
Objection! Objection!
Oh god, I think I'm gonna have to look this one up because I honestly don't have a fucking clue what it's getting at here.
Objection!
I could have sworn I already presented this on the 4th and it didn't work. I don't fucking know. Whatever, it's got me through now. Sorry, Your Honour, but if there's anything else you're going to have to take into account. The well in the yard was rigged to create a certain unique contraption.
A contraption? Go on.
You'll recall Mr. Saint was sent flying from the stage by the elephant.
I do. Just before he was to be absent for some time.
He was only able to fly through the air thanks to a weighted rope he'd tied round himself. Dropping the weighted end down the well allowed him to complete the trip.
Objection!
Wait, wasn't that something flying as soon as he set foot on
Hold
stage?
It's simple, really. He kept the weight from falling by using a stake to keep the rope in place. With a second rope, he was able to pull the stake free, thereby controlling when the weight was dropped. We found the evidence to suggest the original weight was replaced with Knight's body. This was done by the real killer in order to create an alibi. The estimated time of death tells us the murder took place early in the morning. The killer could have tampered with the contraption in the time between the murder and the show.
You're saying Mr. Saint himself set this contraption up, right? Well then, who do you think is the number one most likely person to have used to dispose of the body, hmm? Even you must see how this looks.
If Mr. Saint was the killer, he could have simply done as Judge Cavell theorized without these extra steps. Miss Berry,
We?
does anyone else know how Mr. Saint's trick works?
Well, let's see. We had to get the presence of proof on what we were going to perform. So I don't think Simon's the only one who knows.
And there you have it.
Interesting. You've certainly been diligent in your investigation. Yet I fail to comprehend your actions still. Why do you not work to do what is right?
Is what I'm doing wrong? If so, who is it that deems it so?
How do you not grasp even that? How can you not see what you're doing is wrong at this very moment? You're a prosecutor, and yet you aid the defense. This flies in the face of common sense. You're breaking every rule in the book.
I think only of what is right and just and act as I see fit in each situation I am confronted with. This is the path I've chosen. Whether you can comprehend the choice is immaterial. But if you mean to stand in my way, I will fight back with all I can bring to bear.
Perhaps the goddess of justice is testing me. Very well. If it is her we must fight. I shall end this once and for all. Listen well, Mr. Edgeworth, there is another reason why only Mr. Saint can be the killer. If the body was moved from the yard to the workshop, Mr. Knight must have first been through here from the yard from his cell. The only person who had the opportunity to do that is Simone Saint. Thus, he remains the only plausible suspect. Mr. Saint took a cage with him to Mr. Knight's cell. Why would he do that? Why take such an unwieldy object all the way to the holding cells? It is pretty sus.
But we've all met Mr. Saint. That's exactly the kind of thing he would do. It's entirely plausible he took the cage with him out of the absent-mindedness and nothing else.
It may be plausible, but it's no more or less plausible than him having helped Mr. Knight to escape.
I need some real solid evidence if I'm going to get her to budge.
Hold it!
You seem to think Mr. Knight was killed here in the yard. When do you think he was brought here?
Sometime between midnight and 8 a.m. the day of the show. It could only have been during that time.
In other words, between the end of rehearsal and the start of the performance.
As I was saying, if the body was moved from the yard to the workshop,
Hold it!
Was there really no other way to make sure no way he could have come here?
Mr. Knight was awaiting trial. If he, a random non-inmate, had openly entered the prison proper, he surely would have been noticed.
And presumably none of your witnesses have testified to have seen such a thing?
Precisely. Praise be to the goddess of justice for granting you this insight. As you would agree, it can only be that Mr. Knight was brought over here in secret.
Hold it!
You're certain nobody else had the opportunity?
Need I remind you we're in a prison? The entire facility is monitored at all times. Anything out of the ordinary will be spotted.
Mr. Saint was under the same scrutiny, was he not?
The warden granted members of the circus troupe special access. As a member of the troupe, under the supervision of Miss Berry. He's the only person who's free to wander where he will.
It seems you've forgotten something, Your Honour.
Forget is not a word in my vocabulary, Mr. Edgeworth.
Very well, then recall this fact, if you will. You claim Mr. Saint's the only person who was free to walk around the prison. There was also a brief period of time on the day of the crime in this prison, a time when it would have been possible for anyone to move through the prison entirely unmonitored.
Take that!
Mrs. Saint is far from the only one who had the opportunity.
Which opportunity are we talking about again?
We previously established the time code on the security footage was off by 3 hours. And from this, we can deduce there must have been a power outage lasting that length of time, during which anyone could have moved around the prison unnoticed.
You mean to say our killer intentionally created a 3-hour gap? That's no simple camera malfunction, is that even possible?
It was completely possible to create a 3-hour gap using this.
Take that!
Our investigation of the yard turned up something rather interesting. A panel of breakers, one of which can be used to cut the power to the security cameras. We also learned the door to the power room may have been opened around the time of the murder.
What? Such a shame to see one so capable fall so short of the mark. Mr. Edgeworth knows what he's doing. How does he explain the lock on the power room door?
Yeah, it was kind of locked up tight. The warden's the only one with the key.
Those breakers are vital to the prison's infrastructure. I very much doubt anyone could have gained access to the power room's key so easily.
No, but one person could have.
I beg your pardon.
That person, the killer, had easy access to it, in fact. What's more, their position here is such nobody would dare question them.
There's no one like that! The breaker to the electric fence is in there. They would be questioned in an instant.
There's only one person who meets these criteria. I can hardly believe it myself, but I have to follow where the logic leads. The person who had access to the power room key was...
Take that!
real culprit is... Warren Lagarde.
Just look at you. Aren't you the cutest little poochie woo?
He's not just a pretty face. Missile also has quite the nose for sweet things. It seems he's smelling something very sweet indeed, and it's coming from you.
Oh, darling, you're making me blush. I'm not even wearing perfume.
Then perhaps it is the sweet stench of death.
You're a regular poet, aren't you? I had no idea. If I didn't know better, I'd almost think you were calling Moa the killer.
That's precisely what I'm calling you.
What? Warden Lagarde, the killer? Mr. Edgeworth, do you realise what you're saying? Oh, such a naughty boy. How can you suspect me, huh? I'm the one in charge around here. It's like we're in a murder mystery, aren't we? And equally far-fetched. This is preposterous.
Sadly, it's not, although I can hardly believe it myself. But this is where the evidence points, and we must trust in the evidence. This piece of evidence proves that Warren Lagarde is the killer.
Take that!
Uh-oh.
Darling, please, that's your damning evidence. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever, and you know it.
Missile smelled something on Warren Lagarde just now. Whatever it was could be the key to this. Ah!
You're a hoot, Mr. Edgeworth, really you are, but can you dispense with the jokes now, huh?
It's no joke, Warden. You are the killer.
Oh, really? At least try to present some plausible evidence.
Take that!
Your scent betrays you, Warden. And here is your accuser.
The police dog?
We had him check the sweet scent that was lingering around Knight's body when he was first found. He now appears to be smelling the same scent, coming from you.
Oh, darling, you're priceless, really you are. Your evidence is a whiff of suspicion. Verity, dear, do put him out. Do put him in his place.
It seems Judge Cavell may have reached a similar conclusion to myself.
You believe this to be no mere coincidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
I do. After all, she had the key, and the scent found lingering on her body is hers as well. Were it just one or the other, we might have been able to brush it off as coincidence. However...
Indeed, then it seems a conclusion approaches. Perhaps we should hear what the warden has to say for herself.
we should. And when we have, this case will finally be at an end.
You're being simply awful. Stop looking at me like that. Me, the killer? How could I possibly do such a thing? Verity told me everything she knows about the case, sweetie. The victim died in this cell, so by your logic I would have had to have killed him there. How am I supposed to have moved the body, especially as I never went to the prison? I was too busy with work, you see, cooped up in my office until right before the show began. Check if you like, you won't find a record anywhere of me having entered or left the prison proper. I haven't the first idea what harebrained theories you typical scams have cooked up, but I'm innocent. There's simply no way I could be the killer.
Give me a break. Missile don't lie. Don't make it hard on everyone and come clean.
Oh dear, I'm afraid you're the one making things difficult. As I just said, I never went to the prison. If you think I'm lying, go and check the records.
She clearly wants us to check those records, which means they won't help us. We'll just have to find another way of getting the truth out of her.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, stop being a big silly. You've made a boo-boo and you know it.
Judge Cavell told you everything? Are you close?
Thick as thieves, darling. Why'd you ask? Are you jealous?
Jealous of what?
I had to ask Warren Lagarde for a lot of information the first day of our investigation. It seems only right I share the information in return. Verity, you have to make it sound awfully dry. I thought we had a lovely chat. I simply shared the truth in our conversation. It was the least I could do.
I'm not sure what's going on, but these two are terrifyingly formidable together.
Hold it!
The murder took place in his cell. You seem very happy to accept that.
Why shouldn't I be? It seems the most likely place for it, and what happened about drawing attention. Besides, they found Knight's blood in his cell.
Yes, but that was from being struck by Mr. Carcerito. Though I didn't mean to tell her that, I suppose. I take it there's also been no testimony to the contrary.
What does it matter? Knight being killed in his cell doesn't go against any of the facts anyway.
Hold it!
Do you have any evidence you didn't enter the prison?
Please, darling, let me finish.
Hold it!
So you were in your office the whole time and you didn't notice anything unusual?
I can't say I did.
And you didn't notice anything missing?
I must confess I'm a rather messy girl, and a forgetful one at that. Sometimes I put something down, it's lost forever. It's a curse, darling, a curse. I even lost some important evidence recently. It was gone, woof, just like that.
And she still has a job?
Honestly, if someone came into my office and took something, it might be years before I noticed.
Seems like I need more than the power room key to expose her.
On the day of the murder, I was working in my office and looking for something I'd misplaced. Even if I had a reason to go to the prison, I simply wouldn't have had the time.
Hold it!
Sure, maybe you didn't go through the main entrance to the prison. What if you took another route?
Oh, come now, sweetie. Sure you don't mean that awful, filthy tunnel they discovered? Yesterday I had no idea it even existed.
No, you had another way in, I'm certain of it. A route that didn't require going through the main entrance or the tunnel.
Take that!
Through the fence?
Warden, you took Knight from his cell and brought him to your office, which just happens to be connected to the yard. If you had a way through the fence, then you would have been able to circumvent both the entrance and the tunnel.
A gold star for creativity, darling, and how would I have gotten through the fence? The extremely high fence topped with razor wire with thousands of volts of electricity going through it. Yeah, how would she suppose to have gotten through,
The fence's electricity supply can be cut off from the power room, and only you had the key, Warden. No one but you could have done it.
Utterly ridiculous. The power room is on the prison side of the yard. Warden Lagarde's on the detention centre side. How would she have even reached the power room? Exactly, Verity, darling. Well, clever puss, you dug yourself a real hole now. If there's no record of Warden Lagarde having entered the prison proper, then the idea she could have shut off the fence by using the breakers out of the question.
But there must be some way she could have done it. Take a deep breath, big guy. Lose your cool, you've lost everything. If I don't find a solution, she might still wriggle out of this. I said take a deep breath, not freak out and completely lose your cool. There's nothing to be gained by banging your head against the same wall, yeah? No matter how you look at it, Warden Lagarde couldn't have done it alone.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you cannot fight... You aren't doing yourself any favours by obstructing justice with your silence.
That was a reflexive objection, but now I've yelled it. If I don't come up with an answer, it's all over. I have one more thing to add, if you'll permit me.
Something that explains how the warden could have shut off the breaker from the wrong side of the fence?
Yes, because it's not as impossible as it seems. What enabled her to shut off the breaker? The time of murder enabled Warren the God to shut off the power.
The time?
Yes.
How exactly?
Whoops.
I see you have no answer.
Not correct answer, it would seem. Fucking idiot. Why? You know those words can only mean accomplice. Why didn't you fucking say it? You dumb fuck. She couldn't have done it alone, but what if she wasn't alone? Oh, now we're talking. Ready to flush cell grey matter, kiddo? I believe Warren the Guard had an accomplice.
Enough. You disappoint me, Miles Edgeworth.
What do you mean? Mr. Edgeworth said nothing wrong.
The inmates of the prison are all issued with security bracelets. The ones that raised you alive, people were not... The ones that raised you alive, people go where they're not supposed to. Ah! I see you realise your error. And we, of course, within the prison grounds. We're not only are the bracelets worn, even the guards surveil each other for signs of wrongdoing.
And despite all that, no one noticed Mr. Carcerato's escape?
The only ones who are free to roam are the animals. And they most certainly could not have operated the breaker.
No, so our accomplice must be human.
Who did it? Given it cannot have been a prisoner or a guard.
I wouldn't be so quick to rule out evil, Your Honour. The fact is, there's one person, someone whose movements weren't restricted. I have just the evidence to show who that free-roaming person was. I do.
Take that!
This is one of the prisoner's bracelets.
Indeed, a broken bracelet belonging to a certain self-proclaimed model prisoner.
What do you mean? Who is this prisoner?
Frank Sawit, Warren the Guard's favourite inmate. It's strange, isn't it, Warden? He was able to keep his broken bracelet hidden and wander freely about the prison all the while. That is pretty funky. I don't mean in a good way. It couldn't be the case that he was permitted some sort of special leeway, could it? Although, you're in the habit of giving such leeway to certain others. Burning Harmer Kennis, for example.
Mr. Edgeworth, that is pure speculation.
In that case, why don't we ask Mr. Sawit himself? I'm confident he'll confirm with us that he and Warren Lagarde were accomplices of the crime. If the two of them had worked together, a certain route out of the prison becomes viable. The real route by which Knight was moved from his cell to the prison proper. Recall there were two big obstacles in her path. The security camera outside Knight's cell, the electrified fence in the yard. But she was able to remove both obstacles in one fell swoop by having Mr. Sawit shut off the corresponding breakers.
Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you've had your fun.
And you still denied Warren Lagarde?
No, darling, you've got me. I admit it. Warden, tell me this isn't true. Sorry, Verity, honey, I'm afraid it is. Frankie helped me do it. No way. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth. You got her.
Nice shooting, cowboy. She won't be rigging out of this now.
As Mr. Edgeworth said, I had Frankie switch off the breaker. But we didn't kill Knight, did we? No, Sweetums, no, we didn't.
What?
Warden, explain yourself. Oh, Verity, dear, I doubt your precious goddess will want to hear my excuses now. She's all merciful, but we have to confess and you shall be saved. Oh gosh, all right. I was being threatened. I had no choice but to do as he said. Who's he? Canis, the awful assassin.
Canis?
How long has it been since the awful man came to my beautiful prison? I'll never forget the day he arrived. The moment we were alone, he said this to me.
You should know I have other dogs. Dogs not confined to this fine institution.
Others?
Yes, very loyal dogs. Dogs who'll do anything I ask of them.
Of course he wasn't talking about real dogs. He was talking about his very human cronies. Then he said one last thing.
I'd recommend you take care in how you treat me during my stay here. I wouldn't want to have to set my dogs on you or your precious family.
I had no choice. I gave him that cell. I gave him everything he asked for.
Everything? Is that how he became the fixer?
Yes, darling, I obeyed his every command and smuggled for him what he wanted. Eventually I brought dear sweet Frank into our little conspiracy. He agreed right away, of course, because I made things easier for him, too. So you were smuggling contraband? How exactly? Once a week, late at night, Frankie would shut off the breakers. This allowed me to go from my office to the yard without being seen by the cameras. I simply dropped the packages down the well on the prison side and went back to the fence. Each one of them spritz with a little of my perfume.
So that's what the sweet smell was.
Yes, a signal for Canis' dog. When he picked up the scent, he'd fetch the packages and bring them back to his master. We had to make sure Rocco wasn't in his cell at the time, of course.
Can't be easy keeping him from finding out.
We're all very much creatures of habit in the prison, darling. Once everything runs a schedule, meals, exercise hours, that sort of thing. We knew when he wasn't there. That adorable little bear of history is refined at the sight of Canis' dog, poor thing. There was no risk of him raising the alarm either.
She had oversight over everything here at the prison, which made her the perfect mule. With her on his side, Canis couldn't fail.
Frankie would sneak out again early in the morning to switch the breakers back on. Our work was done. Apart from fixing the time codes on the cameras, which I would do later when I got the chance. You've shared a great deal, Warden. The Goddess of Justice will surely take your honesty into account. I've been the most dreadful fool, I know I have. I was supposed to be the one in charge. The day of Knight's murder was also one of our delivery days. So Frankie, bless his heart, did his usual work with the breakers. There was no package for me to deliver that day, so I didn't go out to the yard.
So that's the secret behind the fixer's system and why she was... That's why you were interrogating Mr. Canis over and over?
Exactly. I was trying to track down those horrible hitch people of his. I borrowed everything the police had on that rotten scoundrel. I watched his every move, intercepted every letter he wrote.
His letters? I suppose you must know about his correspondence chess game, too.
No matter what I did, I couldn't turn up any clues as to who his underlings were. Living in fear like this, it's
Oh, you can't comprehend it.
As you just heard for yourself, Mr. Edgeworth, the words of Warden Lagarde's confessions have cleansed her of all suspicion. Surely there's no need to hound her any longer.
Has she really been cleared of all suspicion, though, or is there more of her to uncover? I'm sorry, Your Honour, but the conversation isn't over yet. I think the Goddess of Justice would agree.
You mean to make her suffer even more than she already has?
Unfortunately, her suffering under Mr. Canis does nothing to prove her innocence in Knight's murder. She admitted herself she knew of, and even felicitated the so-called Fixer's delivery route. I believe she used the same route to move Knight's body.
Where's your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth?
In the fact the sweet smell on Knight's body is the exact same scent Warden Lagarde uses to signal delivery. What do you make of that?
Well, that's because we've done it so many times by now, the whole world probably smells of it. Some of it must have just rubbed off on his body. That does much the same as Mr. Carcerato provided.
A smell. Always smell kind of nice down there. Nice? Sort of like dessert, I guess.
His words seem to suggest the smell had permeated into the well.
Ugh.
You've been rendered speechless, I see. I hereby move to adjourn this session of the court. Now, what do we do, Edgeworth?
What can I do? Is this as far as we go?
Finally, are we actually done? Yes, Eustace, it seems we are. By the power vested in me, this court is adjourned. Who was that?
Come on, Judge G. Things were just getting good. Fender?
Are you objecting to my adjourning this session?
No. Would have shouted objection if I wanted to do that. You do you, G. Adjourn, don't adjourn, whatever floats your boat.
What are you doing, Mr. Fender?
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let's all just take a chill pill, shall we? By which I mean a square of chocolatey goodness. Anyone?
Are you trying to get yourself charged with contempt of courts?
No, my bad. I just had a quick request to make is all. As Simone Saint's lawyer, that is.
Yes, I'd forgotten you were his real attorney, Mr. Fender.
How could you? You're killing me here.
Can you blame us? You've been making Mr. Edgeworth do everything the whole time.
Right you are, which is why I think it's time to put in some work.
Work, you say? Somehow I don't believe you've worked a day in your life.
Let's say this is me doing some prep work for the upcoming trial. Mind if I question the witness?
Now? Amusing, but what is there left to ask?
I got a feeling in my funny bone that Thieves here has something more to tell about the killer.
Do I?
Yes, indeed. As a major player on Team Simone, I can spot a sympathizer when I see one. And you don't think he did it, did you? So tell us, who did? Come on, spill the beans, we're all ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, what's he doing?
He's trying to coax Warden Lagarde into giving something away. Ask yourself, why'd she go to all the trouble of sending Knight's body on such an odd journey? Because she wanted to frame Mr. Canis.
She did? No way.
If he was convicted of committing murder here, that would have been grounds to transfer to another prison. Most likely a more secure facility.
Where it'd be out of her hair forever, huh?
Precisely. She saw her opportunity and seized it.
No, Saint can't not be the killer. That's not fair. We're all ready to prosecute him.
I know, right? But maybe we should find out what she thinks first. Don't want to get the wrong guy, yeah?
Nice. Now Mr. Winner has to go along with it too. Well, Warden, are you happy to testify further? Of course! How could I refuse that silver-tongued devil? Steady, kid, you've such a way with words.
Just doing my job, thief.
Besides, one can't tell the truth without telling the whole truth, can one? Fancy me dying to tell all verity, darling. Do say you'll let me. As you wish. Court is unadjourned. I can't believe you pulled that off, Mr. Fender.
Me neither. Thank you for the timely intervention. Hey, it's the least I can do. In case I'm wrong, I've been in on you a lot, and besides, the defense never rests, am I right? Simone's depending on us. Sadly, I've just about exhausted my reserves of cool lawyer chat there, and we can't foul this up now. Which means you're up to bat, Miles McSmiles. Show 'em the never rest spirit. I shall.
Fabulous, let's get started.